Peanuts, monkeys, and financial advisors or financial experts. What do these things have in common? Well, they're all things we talked about today on Supersize Your Business and the BU 365-day challenge. The challenge today for our doing one thing every day that improves us, our annual challenge this year, is all about this month we're focusing on financial well-being, financial health, money, financial well-being, all financial topics. We just finished the SOAP framework yesterday, and today we jumped into the topic of financial experts, financial gurus, financial coaches, and advisors. And I shared a list of the top 10, including Bernie Madoff and Charles Ponzi, which is just, it's mind-boggling. I guess it's kind of like when you see a list of the greatest leaders of all time and Hitler's on there. I get that same cringy feeling when I see that. But if we're looking at ability to put in place a vision, which is and other key leadership things, it can go both ways, right? Everything that we experience can be used for good or evil. And it's up to the individual, you and me included, to decide what path we're going to go down, right? The good path or the evil path. And it doesn't mean we don't switch off paths sometimes. Some people are evil and then something happens and they become good, and vice versa. Some people are good and something happens and they become evil. And everybody, I'm not here to judge or say about anybody's journey or say if it's good or evil. It's up to that person to decide. Am I on a path of good to make the world a better place? Or am I on a path of evil to just, make my life better, but damn the consequences? So talked about the top 10 financial advisors. I'm familiar with all of those top 10, at least, but read books on, experience, read articles on, etc. And actually worked with some of them. Worked with Robert Kiyosaki, Susie Orman, Dave Ramsey. I'm trying to think if there's any others on that group that I have actually been in contact with. That'd be about it, I think, of the top 10. I definitely had nothing to do with Charles Ponzi, Benjamin Graham. Those were way before my time, or Bernie Madoff, except I did experience massive losses as part of the implications of the 2008 financial crisis, just like a lot of other people did. Dot-com crisis before that, because who we listen to, who we take advice from, it's really important, right? We want to find people that are doing or have done what we want to do, right? I don't want a financial advisor that's driving a broken down car because he can't make enough money. And usually financial advisors are different than financial experts, than gurus, than CPAs and things. And so we need to know what kind of advice are we looking for? What do we need to know? What are we trying to learn? And then we have to pick our sources of who we're going to take that advice from, right? A lot of times we ask our friends, our coworkers, our family members for financial advice, yet they're in the exact same position we are. And we don't necessarily want to do the same things that they're doing because it hasn't worked for them. So it's probably not going to work for us either, right? We want to seek out people that are experts at and really doing the things we want to do. So we talked about that, I talked about it quite a bit, and who we do and do not take advice from, and who, it's up to us to go based on our intuition. What feels right to us? Who do we need to seek out and learn from? What do we need to read? Learn. One of the best ways to learn something is to read a breadth of information on the same topic, right? Finances is no different. I find that a lot of early on, my financial education came from my parents, right? We learned from our family first, and then what they weren't able to provide for me, I had to go out and learn. And I learned some things in college, believe it or not. I took some financing and business courses in college that taught me things I didn't know. But that led me down other trails of, okay, I need to read this book. I need to read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I need to read, Tony Robbins' money book. I need to read, and lots of other people who didn't even make this top 10 list are things that I've read and exposed myself to and learned and understood. And we do that in every topic and area of our life, not just in finance. So that was our topic. Our idiom for today is one I've never heard before. It's, if you pay peanuts, you only get monkeys. And I'm like, what does that even mean? It's got to mean if you don't pay enough, you don't get great workers. But I love researching the idioms that I've never heard before, because that means there's something I for sure am going to learn today, because I'm going to learn what it where it came from, what the origin of it was, what it means, and how can I apply that. I'm going to then take and think about that and say, how does this apply to growing and building and supersizing my business, and then other type businesses as well, because that's who this information's for, is people that are building and growing and scaling and supersizing their business. They're here and they want to be here, right? So I think it's a fun one. I don't necessarily believe it, but there's things that we can learn from it, right? If you are skimpy and cheap and stingy and don't take care of your people, they're not going to take care of the customers and the people that you're here to serve. And that's a pretty direct correlation. And not only in money, which is something that I always keep in mind, what motivates me isn't necessarily what motivates other people. Everyone on the planet, despite studies and beliefs, aren't motivated strictly by money. And once we reach a certain level of income, our set point, anything above that may motivate us, but it isn't going to be the primary motivator. They've done all kinds of scientific studies on that and found that to be true. And I found it true in my life. If my basic needs are met, if my needs are met, anything above that is because I want to make the world a better place and I want to positively impact the lives of people, not because I want to make more money based on that. If that makes sense, or if I'm explaining that well. So what drives us isn't necessarily what drives the people we serve or the people that team up with us. And I think you see this in the online world a lot. Not sure if you're involved in that, but if you are, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Whenever somebody approaches you to share or sell their products or services, it's almost always, I'd say 98% of the time, if not 99% of the time, they lead with money, assuming that everybody wants to make money. Same is true if you've ever been approached by anyone in a network marketing, an MLM or affiliate marketing program, which to me is kind of like an MLM, but different, right? Similar, but different. There's similar characteristics, but different. They always lead with money. Hey, are you open to other ways to make money? They won't tell you what the business is. They won't tell you what the company is. And this is a strategy from at least 50 years ago. It doesn't work, right? People are savvy. They want to know. The first thing I ask, if somebody says, do you want to make more money? I'm like, if you can't tell me the name of the company, the answer is no, right? If you can't tell me the industry, the answer is no. And now it's crypto and Bitcoin and all these other things that people are trying to sell you. And a lot of it's a scam, right? A lot of it is just, multi-level type things, Ponzi type schemes, dressed up as other things that aren't really for you. They're for that person. And you start to be able to sniff out pretty easily. Are you really trying to help me? Do you have any idea what I need? Or is it just to build your business, right? And if it's just to build your business, if it's got nothing to do to benefit me and the people I serve, the answer is no. And do I have time to watch your 1 hour webinar or your 3-hour masterclass or your 5-day challenge? No, because it doesn't match what I'm working on, what I'm doing. And we have to filter everything because there's so much out there nowadays that we can easily get inundated and sidetracked and pushed off our goals and what we're working toward by all the other things that are vying for our attention. So I'd love to know if you've ever heard the idiom or the expression, if you pay peanuts, you only get monkeys. I actually kind of think monkeys are cute and pretty smart. We were at the zoo the other day with my granddaughter for the first time. She's just a year old, and it was fun. The first exhibit when you go to the Minnesota Zoo is when you go in outdoors is the monkeys. And we watched those monkeys for about a half an hour before we finally moved on and searched out other animals and decided that tropical room is way too hot for all of us, including my granddaughter. So, what are you working on? Is there anything you're working on that I can help you with? Specifically business related, because I help people grow and build and supersize their businesses, but other things. The challenge this year, our annual challenge, is about improving ourselves in all the areas and aspects of our life, right? Our physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, relationships, contribution, communication, and confidence. So if you've got questions about any of those areas, I say hop on and join the annual challenge, because we do a little bit every day to improve us. But if you're looking for more specific things, just ask. Direct message me. If you haven't heard, I have this 5-minute guarantee where I guarantee no matter what you're dealing with, whatever's going on, we can in 5 minutes or less get you actually moving and taking action, doing the next thing that you need to do to move your life in the direction you want it to go. You can Voxer me at Pajama Grandma. Pajama Grandma is my handle on Voxer. When I joined Voxer, that's what I was going as, Pajama Grandma. It was a marketing thing I was doing to to get over my fear of actually communicating and sharing and getting out there in the world, especially in the online world. Otherwise, you can direct message me. Have an awesome day. It is the weekend here in my neck of the woods, and I intend to have fun and enjoy the beautiful weather because it looks like the sun is shining despite the crazy thunderstorms and rains we've been having this spring. All right, catch you tomorrow. Bye.